Visual space has very peculiar properties. Static. Most people think of space as static. For example, the space between you and me as something that is constant. That is, between you and me there are so many inches or so many measures, and that those are the same no matter who's sitting there. To a pre-literate man, space has no static properties at all. They're entirely determined by the people or things that are involved in the spatial relationship. So that a person is thought of as creating his own kind of space and not as being inside space. To an adult, it seems perfectly obvious that the static space in which people are contained would remain the same, and that people in that space would remain the same. In point of fact, this is an illusion on the part of the adult. The child is much more in tune with the reality than the adult in this matter. When you think of the medium as a container, you are thinking in visual terms the hidden meaning of a container is the visual habit of man to put something in its place or around something.
Writing is a visual enclosure of non-visual spaces and senses. It is therefore an abstraction of the visual from the ordinary sense interplay, and whereas speech is an utterance of all our senses at once, writing abstracts from speech.
But this habit of sensory orientation, by which we think of space as a fixed container, has had an enormous effect upon our ideas of the medium as containing a program. In visual space, we think of things as continuous and connected. There is no connection in auditory space or tactile space. To the sense of touch, there are no connections, there are only resonances, beats, rhythms, closures. And to smell, to all the other senses, kinetic movement and so on, there is no continuity, no connection, only discontinuity. And this idea of the visual man, the Euclidean man, that space is continuous and uniform and connected, does not apply in the electronic age to any of the senses except sight. And under electronic conditions, even the visual has lost that continuous character. Under especially television conditions, it becomes once more a mosaic, a collage of resonant dots, spots.